Hi everyone, Soren here from RMS Vocal Institute. I am here today to talk about how we learn new things and how that might be applied to how we learn singing. First, let's go way back. Maybe not that far back, but back to when we were babies. So I would start with cognitive learning. We got two main guys in the theory of cognitive learning. We have Lev Vygotsky's theory and we have Piaget's theory. Both were doing their research around the 1900s. I will mainly go into Piaget's theory. Piaget's theory is in 4 parts to reach full human intelligence. At least that's what the theory says. And if there's any Piaget theory specialists out there, I just want to say that I'm sorry if I didn't put everything inside every stage, but I took out what I felt was important for how we can learn how to sing faster, or at least learn new things. The first stage is from 0 to 2 years of age. So, of course, don't think of it as, oh, okay, so now I'm 0 to 2 or what, Soren? No. This is theory put on theory. So, I'm just looking at it in a more open perspective and saying, well, we're not, of course, 0 to 2 years of age, but we are starting to learn something new. So the first stage is the sensory motor stage. This is the stage where all of our senses basically gets developed. So reflexes turns into habits and then awareness. And he's also adding that more activity will help the learning curve. So what if we look into it as a person who just started their singing journey? You want to hear what it's all about. You want to try some of it out, maybe even. And then the new reflex will maybe even turn into a habit if done enough. Or put it another way, you want to try it out, right? You come and you take a lesson, you see, is this for me or not? If it was, well, you keep on going, and with the help from a teacher, you'll then get further and turn the reflexes into habits if you do it enough as well. But remember that this is the very early stages of learning. So you will still have a big issue getting out of your comfort zone, and it will be hard to understand what the teacher wants you to feel as well. Stage 2 is the pre-operational stage. It's where we start fantasizing and we start learning symbolism and we start learning the terms. So we start questioning them. So you could call it some kind of primitive reasoning at that point. So this is where we start fantasizing. I really want to become a singer. And we'll start to learn the terms, meaning registers, timbres, and so forth. And even some medical terms to know what is going on. And at this point, mental images might work even better. You've been working for a bit and you start knowing the terms and so forth. So it will be a little bit easier. And at this stage, we could start thinking about talking about distortion and slowly getting into it. Stage 3 is the concrete operational stage between the ages 7 to 11. This is where logic is almost fully developed. Reasoning is also almost fully developed. And we start being able to learn new things and just throw them away again if we don't want them. This stage is basically teaching us that we can start adding real logic, meaning that you'll be able to understand what the teacher wants you to do and maybe even why. So at this stage would be really easy to learn distortion because all the terms are there. The logic behind is in place. Every sensation that you are feeling should be in place. The 4th stage is the formal stage. It is where abstract thinking and emotion happens. Isn't that exactly what the final part of singing is all about? We know what we can do and we start playing around with it. And when we find out what we like, then we start adding emotion as the final stage. It's basically what singing is, in my opinion at least. So here at RMS Vocal Institute, we of course already thought about this. So we have 4 levels, RMS and Mastery, or Mastery. Simply for you to learn how to sing as fast as possible. And not to forget about Vygotsky. He also had some amazing points. His learning curve was in 6 stages. I will just quickly go over some of them. Vygotsky's main approach is influential learning, meaning the better the teacher, the better the student. Otherwise, you would only reach a certain point. And 2 other great points. The harder the task, the better you'll get at it. And role-playing, again, seems to be a really good thing. Other than this, he had a whole stage on speech development. First one, physical perspective. Does it hurt? I'm hungry. Second part, being able to give an object a name, like Baba, but it's not the right name at this point, but it will later turn into the correct. Part 3 is exactly what you thought, us being able to point at an object and give it the right name. In stage 4, there's a lot of development and us being able to choose. And in addition to this, we know that newer research tells us that we should practice 20 minutes at a time as frequent as possible. The reasoning is that we remember the beginnings and the endings the best. So we want as many beginnings and endings as possible. Instead of us rehearsing, practicing new things for 2 hours at a time. You should rather do this. It's mainly because every time we sleep, a part in our brain is doing a reset. And sadly enough, that part in the brain that's doing the reset is also doing it where we learn. And even on top of that, our brain will forget 80% of what we learned within the next 48 hours. I really hope this will help you to learn how to sing even faster. Otherwise, book a lesson at RMS Vocal Institute. Don't forget to subscribe and see you there.